We all talk about lock time as far as it relates to the ability to hit something with the firearm. I've recently had an opportunity to film some fairly eclectic equipment, and it occurred to me that I had an opportunity here to visually show you the difference in lock time between a middle flintlock made in about the 1778 time frame, an advanced flintlock made in probably the 1820s, and a Webley Fosbury revolver, which, though unique, is essentially a center fire revolver. Let's compare and contrast the difference in lock time between a slow flintlock, a fast flintlock, and, well, every other center fire gun ever made. Played at full speed, this is what it looks like together. It's when we start to slow things down that things begin to separate here. So what we've done is taking this video file, and they were all shot with the same slow motion camera, so the frame rate is the same. And we synchronized this so that the very first frame we saw that the hammer began to move is where we lined them up. Ignition on the Webley was detected when we saw this sheet of fire jet out of the cylinder barrel gap, and this tells me that the projectile is now on the other side of the gap and is moving down the barrel. With the flintlocks, we have used the jet of gas that issues from the touch hole as evidence that the main charge is burning and the projectile has begun to move. The difference in time between when the hammer begins to move and the sheet of fire occurs on a Webley is, for all intents and purposes, instantaneous. I have no way to time this. I've got to get a hold of Chad and find out what the frame rate on his camera was. And I don't know what the frame rate was, and we don't have a clock on it. So there's no way to put a hard time on it. This is just a comparison between guns. This handgun, this flintlock handgun, this thing is quick. When it runs, it sounds like one noise. It just sounds like it's bang, it's going off. The Ferguson has a vent that's drilled through the side of the barrel. It does not have a coned touch hole like the handgun has. So the Ferguson, the fire from the pan has to literally burn through a fuse through the hole in the side of the barrel to touch off the main powder charge. In the handgun, you can almost see the powder charge through the hole in the vent. There's a large domed structure on the inside that allows the gunpowder to come right out to the pan. So the Webley is being touched off by a sheet of fire that's just blown into the gunpowder and all it goes. The handgun is being touched off by the infrared energy from the combustion of the priming powder. And the Ferguson's being touched off as a fuse. That can be seen from the ejecta pattern coming out of the two pans. The Ferguson, you can literally see it blowing powder that's still burning out of the pan. The handgun has done all of its burning and it's long gone. Meanwhile, by the time the Ferguson goes off, well, the Webley has already gone all the way into full recoil, and it's recocked its cylinder, and it's waiting to shoot again before the Ferguson even comes off the first time. Outstanding. This is a screenshot of the three audio tracks as we laid them down. The audio tracks were synchronized with the first detectable frame of motion of the hammer. So that's about the best we could come up with. But you can see here, there is a definite time lag. The Webley's on the bottom, the handgun is next, the Ferguson's in the top, and it's definite and it's identifiable optically. When you're shooting the gun, if you're not following through with the flintlock, you're not going to hit anything. I flinch. Eric flinches. Everybody flinches when they shoot a flintlock. You really have to train yourself to stay on the front sight while a small deflagration is going on in your right eye. It takes a lot of practice. I have witnessed full-grown men hitting clay pigeons at 100 yards with a flintlock. It can be done. I will not be alive long enough to practice enough. If you shoot one round of flintlock a day, only one round, by the end of about 7 or 8 days, you pick up a modern centerfire weapon and you can't miss. Just saying, guys. Aim small, miss small. Stay frosty. See you on the backside.